The Beatles live at the Star Club in Hamburg, Germany, 1962. This is part 2. Stick around. Hi and welcome. This is Rock Hard Riffs, the guitar channel for the self-taught. We also do fun and nifty Beatles stuff here on this channel. We certainly appreciate your view, guys. We really do. And if you enjoy this and other guitar type material, videos, etc., please think about subscribing to the channel. We have lots of fun and cool stuff coming up, and lots of prior stuff if you're brand new. Lots of Beatles stuff, lots of guitar stuff if you're learning the guitar. So, all right, let's get on with it, folks. This is part 2 of the Beatles live in Hamburg in 1962. This is the inside sleeve. Now, I want to remind you guys that this recording is pretty crude, okay? So just keep that in mind, and it's not as if this is the most high fidelity of situations we have here for you, but that isn't the intention of what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to show you nifty Beatles stuff that I have, and maybe you can mention stuff that you have in the comments. So please leave a comment. Now let's get on with it. We are going to listen now to side 2. Oddly enough, before in the prior video it was side 1 and 4. This is side 2 and 3. So different. All right, so let's give this a listen. Now we're on side 2. So this is I'm going to sit right down and cry over you, which I thought was on the last video. It wasn't, obviously. And let's see what we got. I don't know if it's going to be possible to read this text or not, but I'm going to zoom in on that. I doubt you can read that. It's such fine print. Okay, so the hippie, no, side 2. Then I just messed up. This song is Where Have You Been All My Life? I apologize. Now next is one of my favorites from way back. This is Mr. Moonlight, and I've always really loved this song. Let's take a look. Give you another look at the back of the album. Cool. Alright, let's check out Besame Mucho, for those of you that have never heard the Beatles do this. Paul sings this. That's a halfway decent recording. Yeah. Okay, cool. Cha-cha-boom. All right. Now let's move on to the last song on this. This is called Hallelujah. I Love Her So. I am not familiar with that. So let's take a listen to that. Again, guys, I have to skip through this in the interest of time. So, and again, this is strictly for educational purposes. So we're right here on the list. Wow. Okay, so Kansas City, hey, hey, hey. Hey, 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 hey. Okay. I'm sure we're all pretty familiar with that one. And again, in the interest of time, I've got to move on. I want to get this Hallelujah. If I'm there. Nope. Wow. Interesting. All right. Let's flip sides. On to side 3. Okay, guys, let's start with side 3. This Ain't Nothing Shakin'. Give you something else to look at there again. Ain't Nothing Shakin'. Huh, okay. Now this is saying the last track on side 3 on the inside sleeve is Hallelujah, I Love Her So. So we'll find out. And who is it that says the Beatles were not a rock and roll band? Who says that? Oh yeah. And this was written by Dallas Frazier and A. Owen. Interesting. Yeah. Cool. All right, now to know her is to love her. Let's just take a little listen to that. Oh my. It's not a horrible recording. Now listen to those guys. One thing, if you notice, folks, and I'm really noticing it more and more that I listen to this live stuff since I'm doing the YouTube thing, is how tight the Beatles actually were. Their rhythm section, especially with John there too, just right on it. And especially right on the back of the backbeat, which is where the magic is as a musician, is to be on the back of the backbeat. Okay, now this is Little Queenie, Chuck Berry. Now listen to that guitar. Just listen to it. That's John. And he is on it. There's George. Right on top of it as well. Yeah, they said that the Beatles were only pop, sugary sweet pop. I beg to differ, my friends. Okay, Falling in Love Again. We're going to give a quick listen to that one. These guys were just a tight rock group. Tight little ballroom, dance room, or tight little ballroom band. That's what Paul called themselves. And they were, no doubt. That's a little different. Now, also that I mentioned the musicianship, if you're listening to that, if you appreciate that as well as I do, we're not even mentioning the Beatles' vocal abilities. We're talking 3 great voices. And Ringo, he didn't have a bad voice, he just didn't have much of a range. But even with Ringo in the mix, I mean, you know, they're like the Everly Brothers, cleaner and on steroids. Without all the echo, meaning, without all the reverb. This is Sheila, who wrote this. Tommy Rowe. Tommy Rowe. Let's take a look at the back of that album again. That's George. That's another thing I find kind of peculiar. You hear George do a lot of early vocals. But then when, of course, John and Paul started, they just started doing all of their music, recording just their music, George wasn't as predominant as he was when they were doing covers like this. And then, of course, he wrote his own great music. Okay, next, Bebopalula. Yeah. That's live, remember guys? Okay, this is Hallelujah. I love her so. Ray Charles. It doesn't get any better than that, man. Beatles covering Ray Charles. That's what I'm talking about. of the greatest compliments was the great Smokey Robinson covering the Beatles. Beatles songs. Yesterday, as a matter of fact. Paul McCartney's song. Talk about the ultimate compliment. So folks, that's it. That's the end of it. I sure hope you have enjoyed this. I have. I haven't listened to, again, my bootlegs or any of this stuff since I was a kid. Since I bought them. So it's been a good 30 years. So I've really enjoyed this. I hope you have too. And again, I just want to remind you that these are rather crude recordings. So I hope you weren't expecting, studio quality sounding recordings. These were recorded live on crude recording machinery, I'm sure. And of course, it's on these records with this less than expensive Crossley record player. But very cool. I love it. My son gave this to me. Very cool. So, all right, guys, if you enjoyed this, please subscribe. We'd certainly appreciate that. And we hope you stick around and check us out. And we'll see you next video.